Roxo Media House. From the Flying T Club studios at Roxo Media House, this is Frogs Today. We get up to date on TCU men's basketball. Men's tennis coach David Roditi joins from Chicago. Plus, college baseball cranks up this weekend. And now, here's your host, the voice of the TCU Horned Frogs, Brian Estridge.
Welcome into Frogs Today, here from the Flying T Club studios on the Friday, getting you ready for the weekend. Lots going on this weekend, including the chase for the ITA indoor title for men's tennis. David Roditi is going to join us a little bit later on. We'll get into that. We got baseball this weekend. What else do we have going on? I got a lot of college basketball, but first we start with some football news for you as the spring practice dates have been set now for the Horned Frogs. Last year's #2 team in the country will crank it up on Monday, March 20th at 8 a.m. They'll run essentially Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday for 4 straight weeks. That spring game will happen on April 14. So mark your calendar for that and stay with us here at Frogs Today and frogstoday.com for exclusive content as we're out there every day with our team of reporters for spring practice that cranks up here in just a couple of weeks now. TCU women's basketball had the midweek open date. They'll take on Kansas State coming up at 5 o'clock. You want to get there early. The Hope Farm boys are singing the national anthem. Always a hit for that one, of course. And the TCU men fell to Iowa State. That was on Wednesday night up in Ames. 70-59 was the final score as TCU now sits at 6-7 in Big 12 conference play. They're set to take on Oklahoma State coming up Saturday, tomorrow at 1 o'clock. A chance to avenge an earlier season loss to the Cowboys in Stillwater for Jamie Dixon's team. Coach Dixon talked post-game after Iowa State about where his team is currently.
You know, we're finding ourselves, we're kind of reinventing ourselves every day. Went in the game not knowing who was playing, 3 different positions, 2 guys didn't play, and one guy did who I didn't think was going to play. So we're just trying to find ourselves here right now and not playing as good as we have played, and obviously we're searching. But we're going to respond. We're going to come back Saturday. We got a home game. We've been on the road a bunch, and we just haven't got it done on the road against good teams. So I'm disappointed in how we played. The slow start in the first half, slow start in the second half. But we fought. We kept coming back. But some fouls, just keep putting them at the line, really seemed to kill our momentum at times. And then a couple plays at the end shouldn't have happened. So, we've got to do a better job, and I know we will. I'm looking forward to us get better here down the stretch.
Reminder, 1 o'clock tip tomorrow, TCU and Oklahoma State here at Schollmeyer Arena. Coming up next, David Roditi is going to join us. Our headliner here today, the men's tennis coach. His boys are in the Windy City, Chicago, chasing that ITA indoor title. We visit with Coach Roditi. When Frogs Today on the Friday continues after this time.
The Flying T Club provides the everyday TCU fan and alum the ability to specifically support TCU student athletes. Flying T Club offers 3 levels of memberships. The Flying T Club is a nonprofit organization supporting the brand development of TCU student athletes through a series of unique event-based networking opportunities, which are exclusive to our members. These events provide a great social engagement tool for our members and student athletes alike. Follow them on Instagram at Flying T Club or online at flyingtclub.com.
Dave's Hot Chicken is a cult favorite and now has 2 locations in Fort Worth, Bryant Irvin Road on I-20 and Berry Street at TCU, both owned and operated by Horned Frogs. Mention the Frogs Today show and get 10% off anytime and order online at daveshotchicken.com.
This is Cowtown Headache Center, a neurology clinic that specializes in headache medicine. We offer standard oral medications, we offer trigger point injections, we offer multiple nerve blocks, we offer infusions both for prevention medication and for acute relief. My name is Andrew Levere. I'm a physician assistant that has a special certification from the National Headache Foundation in headache medicine. Patients are pretty shocked when I tell them we have tons of options for them and that we can do better than what they're doing. I don't just tell you, here's one medicine we're going to try. I'll give them options, and then ultimately we choose together as the provider and patient. It's very satisfying to know that we're changing people's lives.
Welcome back into Frogs Today on the Friday. Our headliner of the day joins us right now from the Windy City. David Roditi, the head men's tennis coach here at TCU. The ITA Indoor National Championship are this weekend. Well, Horned Frogs number 3 seed heading into that one. Kind enough to carve out some time for us here today is Coach Roditi. Congratulations, man. It's been a heck of an indoor season so far.
Thank you. It's always a great sign when you get to play this tournament. It's not easy to get here, and we're very grateful that we made it again, and now we get to battle against the best teams in the country.
Yeah, you start out with another matchup with Baylor. We'll get into that shortly. This is the 5th straight year that you've been here. This is kind of becoming old hat for you, David.
Yeah, it's nice. It took a while for us to get here. We didn't get here for the first time until my first recruiting class. They were seniors the first time we made it to this tournament. So it's great. It's great to be here for the 5th year in a row. A lot of our guys have a lot of experience. Fumba, Sander Jung, this is their 5th trip. They like it. They like indoor. So it's great leadership for the rest of the team.
Yeah, give me some sense as to how this tournament works, because there's 16 teams there, and yet are you guaranteed 3 matches? Am I right about that?
Yeah, we call it a compass draw. So you basically have your typical 16 teams. It's just a regular draw like you would in the NCAA basketball. And then if you win, you move on to the right, and then you play the winner of Georgia and South Carolina. If you were to lose, you go to the left and you play the loser. And then every time it works that way, the 2 teams that would play each other, if you win, you move on to the right. If you lose, you go. They call it compass because you go either south or west or east. The goal is to go to the right. You want to get 4 matches in and get to the finals. That's everybody's goal. So we'll see. We'll see if we can get there.
Your team always plays well in this tournament, too. You won 6 of the last 7 times you've been under this banner. Give me some sense as to why. You guys are always good on the road, too. What have you won, 11 or 12 straight on the road now?
Okay, I was unaware of that. Yeah, I maybe it's the less distractions. We get a little routine on the road. Devin Bowen, I've always said it, he does a great job of getting the team ready. Our other coach, Devin, he's the best in the business when it comes to getting those guys ready. So when you're on the road, you get a little less distractions and you can just focus on the match at hand, like we do tomorrow. Also, you have a guy like Fumba, who's 6'6" or 6'7", huge serve. Sander Jung, huge serve. Usually indoors, that type of game, that style pays off indoors. So I think that's part of our success that we've had the last few years indoors.
Speaking of success, you've had success against several of these teams in this 16-team field, right? In fact, you're just coming off a win over Baylor, who you'll face in that first match.
Yes. We beat Tennessee on the road. They're here. We beat UNC on the road. They're here. And we beat Baylor on the road, and they're here. And we'll play other teams that are here later in the season outdoors. So it's we always do our best to see if we can get the best competition leading up to this tournament. We are fortunate in our conference that only 6 teams have a men's program, so we have a lot of room to schedule as many out of conference matches. And we believe in, if you want to be the best, you got to play the best, you got to beat the best. So we make it as tough of a schedule as we can do it.
David, you mentioned this earlier. Do you feel like your team is sort of made for indoors? I mean, you've won 20 straight indoor matches, I think it is, something like that.
We've gotten into a good rhythm indoors. Our facility is not easy to play at. It takes a long time for visiting teams to play at our indoor courts, the barn. I call it the barn.
Yeah.
It's only 5 courts, and it's tight. It's fast. Courts are fast, so I think that helps us. It also helps us in preparation. You're playing there, and then you come here and you feel like you got all the room in the world to run around. That's part of our success. And like I said, the game style of our players with Fumba, Sander, even a guy like Jake Fernley, they like playing indoors. So that helps us.
Yeah, when I look at the Lotus rankings, I think is Fernley 17 in the country right now in the ITAs. Am I right about that? And Luke comes in at like number 49. He's top 52, isn't he?
Yes. So that ranking is based on the fall, some individual tournaments. Some of the other guys may have played professional events instead of college events. That's why the ranking is not up to that. We feel we have a lot of choices up at the top. Any of our top 4 or 5 guys in any order. That's part of our strength. Makes it a little difficult for the coaches to pick who's going to play where, and then also the bottom of our lineup. We're as deep as we have been in a long time. So we got, it's a good problem to have for the coaches not knowing who's going to get to play.
So here's the most important question to you, David Roditi, because I know how business-like you guys are on the road. Is there any downtime? You're in one of the great cities in the world for food and entertainment. Any downtime for your guys?
We did. We got here 2 days in advance, and yesterday, Wednesday, was our only night to basically not eat like complete professional athletes. So we had to go to Illuminati's, do the deep dish pizza. Fomba had about 3 of those pizzas himself. Unbelievable how much food he can put away. And they even had gluten-free for some of us that don't eat gluten. And then we went straight from there to Second City to the comedy show. It was incredible. I laughed so hard. We had a great time. We even ran into the Baylor team that we play against tomorrow. I couldn't believe it. But I'm sure they don't have Second City in Waco, so they had to make the most of that. And it was good to kind of get the juices going. But now, back to business. Now, this is the day before. We got the 9 a.m. slot. So wake up early and get to work.
David Roditi, I really appreciate you carving out the time. We're going to be following these scores all weekend, man. Best of luck. Bring home that title.
Thank you. Thank you, Brian. Hello to everybody in Fort Worth. And go Frogs. If you're a Horn Frog, you're in Chicago. We're at XS Athletic Club here. So come out. Cheer for the Frogs.
Go check them out. All right. Still to come here on Frogs Today, we turn our attention to baseball. Kirk Saarloos' team starts their season this weekend at Globe Life. Our own Jamie Plunkett is covering them, and he joins us next when Frogs Today on the Friday continues after this timeout.
Texas-based Happy Water offers the best-tasting, sugar-free kids drink ever made. Happy Water comes in 4 delicious flavors that you can find at local retailers and on Amazon. Each pouch contains 0 grams of sugar, 0 calories, and 0% juice. Head to happydrinks.com for more information and to purchase Happy Water. That's HAPI drinks.com. Live happy, be happy, drink happy. Say hello to the water of tomorrow. Richard's Rainwater. Richard's Rainwater is 100% rain, refreshing, renewable, and the only ingredient we use in our water. Why rain? Because everyone deserves access to clean water, and rain is a 100% renewable resource available everywhere. Drink the rain. Save the planet. Shop now at richardsrainwater.com.
Welcome back into the Flying T Club studios here on the Friday. Frogs Today continues. We've got college basketball this weekend. We've got men's tennis this weekend. And we also have college baseball. That's right. It's cranking up. It's a big one, too. It's out at Globe Life. It is the State Farm Showdown. Some of the best teams in the country are there, including your 15th-ranked TCU Horned Frogs, who on Friday will get set to take on the 10th-ranked Vanderbilt Commodores. And our own Jamie Plunkett caught up with the head coach prior to Kirk Saarloos right now.
Thanks, Brian. Yes, I'm out here at Globe Life Field where the college baseball showdown's getting underway with Oklahoma State and Missouri starting their game in just a few minutes. But I did catch up with TCU coach Kirk Saarloos a little while ago, and he said he was very excited that the season was finally here. They've spent the last fall and spring practices getting ready for this non-conference schedule that you mentioned is pretty challenging. They start with number 10 Vanderbilt today, and they play Arkansas, who's ranked number 8 on Saturday. Ryan Vanderhey, the Kansas transfer, is pitching today for the Horned Frogs. He's looking forward to his first start in purple against such a tall task. I had the chance, though, to talk with Cam Brown as well, who's tomorrow's starter, and he said he's spent this offseason working on confidence and consistency, 2 things that he felt he was lacking in 2022. So looking forward to seeing these 2 kids pitch. Kirk Saarloos also mentioned that they do have some impressive freshmen that you can expect to see this weekend. Keep an eye out for Anthony Silva, who's going to be starting at shortstop, and Carson Bowen, who's going to get some time behind the plate in relief of Curtis Byrne at catcher as well. The Frogs are ready to play. You should get out here to Globe Life Field and see them take on Vanderbilt today, Arkansas on Saturday, and close out the weekend series with Missouri. Brian, back to you.
Great tournament this weekend at Globe Life. 8 of the first 12 opponents for the Horned Frogs were in postseason last year. Kirk Sarlos challenging his team here early on in the year. By the way, speaking of early on in the year, how about the beach volleyball program's preseason ranking? Number 3 in the country. We'll talk about that next when Frogs Today continues after this timeout.
The Flying T Club provides the everyday TCU fan and alum the ability to specifically support TCU student athletes. Flying T Club offers 3 levels of memberships. The Flying T Club is a nonprofit organization supporting the brand development of TCU student athletes through a series of unique event-based networking opportunities, which are exclusive to our members. These events provide a great social engagement tool for our members and student athletes alike. Follow them on Instagram at Flying T Club or online at flyingtclub.com.
This is Cowtown Headache Center, a neurology clinic that specializes in headache medicine. We offer standard oral medications, we offer trigger point injections, we offer multiple nerve blocks, we offer infusions both for prevention medication and for acute relief. My name is Andrew Levere. I'm a physician assistant that has a special certification from the National Headache Foundation in headache medicine. Patients are pretty shocked when I tell them we have tons of options for them and that we can do better than what they're doing. I don't just tell you, here's one medicine we're going to try. I'll give them options, and then ultimately we choose together as the provider and patient. It's very satisfying to know that we're changing people's lives.
Welcome back into Frogs Today here on the Friday. We would be remiss if we didn't talk a little beach volleyball with that preseason ranking. Number 3 in the country. How about that? And last night on a brand new show here on Frogs Today, we call it the Players Club. It originates every Thursday night at 6 o'clock from John's Grill. Emma Holtquist is one of our hosts along with Olivia Lee. Last night they had that combination of Alvarez and Moreno from women's beach volleyball on. And they had a chance to visit about that early season ranking and the expectations now for TCU beach volleyball.
Now, you guys were ranked top 3, right? Predicted to be ranked top 3. Congratulations. That's amazing. That's awesome way to represent TCU as well. So we love that. How do you guys like that pressure of having a ranking before the season? Does that push you, or is it maybe give you a little bit of worry or nerves, anything like that? How do you feel about it?
I think it's a good thing to be ranked high. Every team comes after you super hard, so you have to go to the court every match at your best because they're gonna be at their best.
Mm-hmm.
Also, we're ranked 3, we still have 2 spots to
Jump.
fight for it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, every day it's a fight to be able to be there at the end of May.
Yeah.
I also think it's a good type of pressure because it forces you to be always consistent, be on the top 5, it's our goal, not go down, and also what Danny said, you have room for getting that first spot, that seat in the national country.
Yeah. Is there someone that's your big competitor that you guys are always up against, or in the end it's kind of you and another team, or is it just kind of depend year to year?
Well, in our conference, Florida State has won the conference title, I think the last 5 or 6 years.
Okay.
So, right now, that's our rival. We really won that conference title this year. So, that's our biggest rival. But also, UCLA got ranked first in this preseason pool. So, that's also, a good rival to beat.
Do you fly to UCLA and play them this year, or do they come here?
I think we're playing them in April in Cal Poly.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Great job there, ladies. Olivia and Emma, every Thursday night, the Players Club, live from John's Grill at 6 o'clock. You can see it here on Frogs Today on our YouTube channel. You can also see it in person. We'd love to have you out there. Thanks to John's Grill for allowing us to broadcast live from there every Thursday night. Gives you the student-athlete perspective with those 2 ladies hosting it. All right, that's going to do it for this week's edition of Frogs Today. Don't forget a big day tomorrow. College basketball, Oklahoma State in town. We got pre- and post-game shows for you. Jamie Plunkett and Amrick Fields will be alongside to bring you all of that. Plus, Jamie's all weekend out at Globe Life. We're going to actually get our money's worth out of Jamie Plunkett this weekend. So join us at Frogs Today and frogstoday.com. Like, subscribe, share, of course, and comment. But most importantly, subscribe. We need you here at Frogs Today and frogstoday.com. For our entire crew, thanks for joining us. Have yourself a great weekend. We'll see you back here next week with another edition of Frogs Today.
Frogs Today is brought to you by the Flying Tea Club, supporting TCU student athletes, and by Richard's Rainwater. Say hello to the water of tomorrow. Frogs Today is a production of Roxo Media House. Roxo Media House.